Tesla, a company that so many people got wrong. Let's take a look at their business model, what they're doing different and why, and what startups can learn from it. Coming up now. Hi, I'm Oliver. Thank you for tuning in and welcome back. AskMeStartUp is a channel where we talk about startups and industries and businesses to understand and learn from them and grow and better in the future. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and pushing the notification bell so YouTube lets you know whenever we're uploading new content. So today's topic is Telsa Motors, a company that hardly any company like this has ever attracted as much criticism, derision, skepticism, and let's say enthusiasm as Telsa Motors and its founder Elon Musk. But why is that? From my perspective, that has to do with the fact that people don't understand the business model Telsa Motors is after. So let's have a deep dive in this topic and see what we can learn from it. So Tesla has recently attracted a lot of attention because of its high stock market prices and its battery day. Maybe the battery day wasn't the best of all, but in the end, people are expecting something from the company. But like all, early growth phase startups, Tesla is consuming much more cash than it's currently earning. Nonetheless, on the long run, all businesses have to be profitable, and Tesla will be no different. But how are they going to achieve it? Simply by manufacturing cars? For sure not, but let's have a deeper look into this. So most people will look at Tesla as a car manufacturer. So when they're doing their analysis, they look at this part, but they don't understand that Tesla has more to its sleeves. In fact, Tesla should be looked at different angles and at their technology stack that they're actually offering. Just as of today, for instance, 15% of Tesla's revenues are not from car sales, but from other sources of income, like the power supply that they're delivering to the electric vehicles, their sunroof, their power wall, etc., etc. So let's dive a little deeper and have a closer look here. What is it that we're talking about? Let's first look at the cars. If you look at them from the outside, they look like a regular car, maybe without the lack of a combustion engine, but their architecture is fundamentally different to those of traditional combustion engine cars. They are made up of a hardware stack inside the vehicle that is improving over time with software, which is on the contrary to how traditional car manufacturers have produced their cars for 100 years ago. Which means also we're coming to the point where we can see that Tesla is using software as a key driver to value for its customers and its company itself. This maybe also gives you a hint why the current car manufacturers are struggling so bad to come up with a competitive electric vehicle, because their way of thinking, their way of acting is built on a completely different business model. It's not about improving existing things. They are building something to sell it off to you and then to improve a new system and then resell this one to you again. On the contrary, Tesla is approaching the value for the customer. And if you look at that value, you can also see that actually Tesla delivers those updates for free. But why are they doing it? Well, Tesla is delivering a solution. It's not about the car only. It's about the technology it provides, the quantity of data it collects for self-driving and autonomous cars, the battery-powered or supercharging stations that it uses, the combined system that it provides for independent electricity like solar roof or the Tesla wall. All these things together are a complete universe, and if you're in there, all of it will need software, and of course software has extremely high margins. So the biggest differentiator of Tesla towards, let's say, traditional car manufacturers, VW is pushing as hard as they can to throw all the money in there to go electric, but they still are not delivering the solution. Tesla is developing a car as if it would be a software product. Yes, the car is a nice byproduct, but in reality they're looking for the software. That's where the margins is. All the other car manufacturers, they don't. Point number one, Tesla is manufacturing its cars as if they were software products. Now, this is so essential to understand, because if you look at VW, for instance, who's pushing so hard to develop their electric cars, they're still on the traditional model where they build one car, they sell off to the customer, this will not be upgraded, not updated at all. Of course, it loses a lot of value, depreciation is there, right? It's real. Then they sell you another one after a few years, etc. Tesla does it differently. So as a conclusion, the hardware of the car gets better over time because the software improves for free. It's almost like the iPhone from Apple, where you have your hardware for years and it gets better and better with every update. Point number two is it simplifies the buying process. If you ever looked at the Tesla website, how to order a car, you can see that it's very simple. You can choose your few options and click to buy, put in your credit card and you're good to go and you get your appointment at the dealership. Try that with any of the current automakers out there in the world. Try it with BMW, Mercedes. Reality is, they give you so much choice, it's overwhelming. It needs an expert to go through that choice. Is that what you want? Or do you prefer to have that choice by yourself? Me, myself, I would rather have the choice by myself. Also, keep in mind, due to the lack of complexity on the Tesla side, they don't have an after-sales process. But the traditional car companies and car manufacturers, they need their 1.3 billion cars on the planet to be running around, to be serviced every day, because without their after-sales process, without their capability to sell you their spare parts and the work to repair the cars, they would not be able to survive. Point number 3. Tesla uses its prowess to minimize the cost of ownership for its vehicles. This is in contrast to current car manufacturers, because in a Tesla, today, a battery would be able to last, let's say, 1 million miles, and it is going soon to be expected by customers to last more than 1 million miles. Just think of this, 1 million miles to drive on the same battery. Try to run your car with a combustion engine 1 million miles without exchanging it. Here again, we are at the stage where electric car is much simpler than a combustion engine car. It needs fewer parts, and we were talking a reduction of, let's say, 10-fold or 100-fold. Some people say the amounts of parts that can be reduced as 2,000 to 20, whatever the ratio might be for a Tesla. Nonetheless, its simplicity means that it is easier to maintain, easier to run, and less to break down. Not least, Tesla has attached its company and its profile to a mega trend, sustainability. From day one, they were claiming that they have 0 emissions, that they are green, that they are the best eco-friendly car you can buy, etc., etc. Well, not all of it is true, of course, because the way the electricity is produced and the way batteries are produced is maybe not completely integrated in the communication. Nonetheless, they are on that trend, and electric cars will be the future, while other technologies might be, on the horizon or not. For sure, one thing is clear, that the combustion engine will die out. 20 years, 10 years, 50 years, who knows, but it will die. Electric car will have a future, because we will always be able to produce electricity, even, let's say, 100% carbon emission free. Solar panels, wind power, wave energy, water power. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities that we can look into generating electric energy in the future. So what we are actually experiencing today on Tesla and other electric car manufacturers, and let's say the rest of these traditional car manufacturers, is not a competition between electric and combustion engine. It is a competition between two different business models. One where you buy a product, it depreciates, and then you have to buy a new one because it's broken and old. And another one where you buy a product that improves over time for free and keeps its value or loses less of its value over time. It can clearly be reflected by the value of the cars 3 years after purchase. So you can see on the screen here that actually Tesla Model 3 only lost 10% of its value, whereas typical representatives of Lexus or BMW 2 Series S, they lose 40 to 50%. Look at the difference. That's money in your pocket. That's money in my pocket. That's why I like Tesla. At the end, Tesla can afford this because their margin is going to be much higher on every car they sell than any combustion engine car will ever be able to do. And that has to do with the fact that it doesn't sell the car itself, it sells car with its hardware and its charging stations and its battery walls and insurances. And of course, all of this needs software, and the software is where the money lies for Tesla. And they're going to make a huge profit out of using their software over time. And just imagine the amount of data that they have already created for self-driving cars, much more than anybody else on the planet, and that has not yet been implemented, but this is going to give Tesla additional boost in their growth in the future. So what can we learn as a startup, as an entrepreneur, from Tesla's strategy? The first thing is, don't think the obvious. If you want to manufacture something, maybe don't just manufacture it, but provide a complete solution. Provide something that is more where the hardware is just a nice add-on to the ecosystem that might be based on the software. Second, think about adding additional information and solutions to your product to create a complete ecosystem. This will help you with customer conversion and customer loyalty. Just look at the iPhone and their iOS system. Might not be the greatest on the planet, but it is continuously updated even to older iPhones. Hence, people love it and stay with it because they know it works and it keeps on working. And the iPhone does lose value, not as much as other Android phones, for instance. Hence, Tesla is doing the same approach. So think of it this way. What else can you add on so your hardware investment that people have to do is not depreciating as fast? 3, have a long-term vision. We know that ecosystems like this are not easy to set up, but take your time and find the sources and funding sources specifically to help you go that route. It will take time. Might not be the first and easiest way to go, and many people will rush you for an early exit, but don't do it. If you are able to pull it off, this is the big win that you can get. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you liked this video. If you got any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and I'm going to see you next time.